Oh, here we are.
Here we are in the garden. You better hope this citronella works.
I know it.
My
You know
friend.
what? I grow this out here. This is one of the herbs that actually does very well out here all
Keeps
year
the
round. We got it in the
mosquitoes
back 40 right over there in one of our raised beds. And folks, talking about raised beds, lots is going on. There's a lot going on in your raised beds or your raised gardens. You want to be planting a lot of stuff from seed right now. We've got it all here. These are root vegetables and our leafy type vegetables, our arugulas, our lettuce, our Swiss chards. Of course, our spinach can go in the next couple weeks. Cilantro. One of my favorite, mustard. And mustard greens are excellent and easy to grow out here and long lasting. We talked about root vegetables. Carrots is another one. You want to grow the short season types of carrots. The real short ones do much better than the long ones. So you can go ahead and put those on all in your raised beds or, of course, right in your soil. But raised beds, ideal situation for growing out here in the desert Southwest.
It's time for tomatoes, too, already.
It is. In fact, we're talking about that. You want to plant your short season type tomatoes. In fact, any of these short seasons can go in right now. And when I say short seasons, as long as they develop within 60 to 90 days, you're going to be in real good shape. But after that, they really have a tough time really developing or fully ripening. And don't forget, put a little bit of cornmeal in there with them, and make sure you're fertilizing with a little bit of calcium. A high calcium type fertilizer is an ideal situation for avoiding what we call blossom end rot, and it's a real prevalent situation out here, and seems to be becoming more so as your soil starts getting real tired. So you want to go ahead and rotate those tomatoes out of the soil about every 3 to 4 years. Make sure you use a high calcium fertilizer, and make sure you stay on top of all your watering needs. As long as you're in that kind of a phase or thinking phase, you're going to be in real good shape for really creating great looking tomatoes. Fall and spring are typically when we grow them.
Now, there's always something to do in your garden.
Oh, there is.
Year round. So right now is the perfect time to start pruning the roses.
It is. You want to prune those roses right now. Any of your dead foliage in your roses, make sure you're actually pruning in what we call vase-shaped type formation. You want an open center type formation. If you just take your hand just like this and just open it up, this is what it's going to look like when you're all finished. Just almost a hand shape so that the wind or the air can circulate in through the roses itself. Right now, give them a slight pruning. We don't give them a heavy pruning until January. Lots of fertilization. Speaking of fertilization, you want to make sure that you got your last fertilization needs right in right now. If you haven't, you're really almost going to get too late here in the next 3 or 4 weeks, so get it in. Your plants are real tired right now, so they need that new flush of growth, and with that flush of growth, they need a lot of that, what we call organic type fertilizer, something like an extreme juice or even a foliar feeding with another type of compost teas or fish emulsions or something along those lines.
Okay, so I know you probably have a question about your own garden. We'd love to hear from you. Get some answers from Dave, the garden guy, about your garden. The number to call 602-207-3312, 602-207-3312. And I understand we already have a caller, a beautiful caller, one of our most beautiful, supportive viewers we have.
I heard you might know her.
My mommy's calling in.
I can't wait.
She's been harassing me, asking me questions about the garden. I'm like, Mommy, I don't know.
Okay, I'm looking forward to talking to her. Let's talk to her.
So, Mama Z, what you got for the garden guy? Hi, Mommy.
Good morning.
Aw.
Well, as she said, this is Lena's mom.
Hi, Z. What's
Hi, how
going
are
on,
you?
Z?
Well, I have a very old chamlash, and I heard you say we need to fertilize it 3 times a year.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to know what's a good fertilizer to use.
You know what? A basic organic type fertilizer. On our website, we have what is called a sick tree treatment, but it also works for any type of tree, even if it's real good. What I like to do is I like to mulch heavily and go with an organic fertilizer like an extreme granule or any other type of organic fertilizer. Fertilize right at the drip line of the tree. What is that? Well, Mario can kind of show you. Mario, go up in one of our trees up here. You can go straight up. Right at the edge of that drip line of the tree are where all the feeder roots are. This is where you get your water absorption, so that's where you want to fertilize. That's where you're creating that what we call forest floor type environment. If you look down at the soil and around our garden, we leave a lot of our debris on top of the soil. This soil grows what we call microorganisms. Our food supply for plants, best food supply, is not synthetic fertilizers, but leaving a lot of that leaf debris on the soil itself, let it decompose and create that compost or those interfaces that create microbial activity. That microbial activity needs a little bit of feeding. Something like our extreme granules, your humates, all your fulvic acids, all those can be put in, and you can go ahead and buy a lot of those fertilizers right at your local nurseries here in town. But Stan Organics is going to create a nice sustained environment for great looking chamlashes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Mommy.
Thanks, Z.
Love you. All right, and then next,
Bye.
next we have John calling. John, you're also one of our favorite viewers.
John,
what's your question?
you there, John? Go ahead.
Yeah, hello. I can barely hear you. We have a peach-type tree. It's got different grafts on it. It took a beating this summer. It's still alive. Most of the leaves turned on it and fell off, but some new leaves are developing. But is there anything we can do to coach it back now?
Again, you want to make sure that you're fertilizing and deeply watering it. Also, you need to make sure you paint the trunk of that tree with some type of white latex paint. That's 1/2 white latex, and get it at a lot of home centers. That's Home Depot or Lowe's. And white latex and water. Just mix it 50-50. Paint the trunk of that tree, because invariably during the winter time is a worse time than during the summertime. But if it gets sunburned, you're going to lose a tree. And also creating that forest floor environment. Go on GardenGuy.com and you can see how to create that forest floor type environment around that tree. And this is really going to create that self-sustainability that's so important, because as soon as you put synthetic fertilizers on a lot of plant material, you get that real quick flush of growth. Well, that quick flush of growth is very watery, not insect resistant, and prone to disease. So using natural type fertilizers goes a long ways, not only to saving water, but of course creating that sustainability in that tree, so it's going to be a much healthier tree.
Okay, thank you, John. And Bill, good morning to you. What's your question?
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, my question is, I have a pineapple crown that I've sprouted in water for 2 months on my windowsill.
Cool.
It's just done very well.
Yeah. Go ahead. I lost you right at. Well, let's talk about that.
It's done very well, but it's time to transplant it.
Yeah.
And what type of soil should I use?
Oh, I wish I put it up here. But you want to go ahead and use 1/2 just some type of potting soil and 1/2 lava sand, because it really likes well-drained soil. And then just plant that crown right on. This is a crown of a pineapple. You understand what he's doing? And plant it right on top of that, and it will root in. And believe it or not, you're going to get pineapples. And it's real easy to grow from a lot of different types of transplants. The other day, I was planting. You know how you cut the bottom of the onions off with the root system on it? I was planting those in the ground, and you can just go ahead and resprout those too. So there's a lot of stuff you can buy at the grocery store you can go ahead and resprout. But like I said, 1/2 lava sand to 1/2 potting soil, regular fertilization, letting it dry slightly in between waterings, put it in full sun, and you should be in real good shape. But you got to do one thing: you got to protect it from any type of frost damage. You're going to end up with a problem with that pineapple later on.
Thank you.
There you go.
Good job. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, John, and thanks, Mama D, for giving us the call this morning.
Thank you, Mom.
We'll be right back.